Siegfried, Act 1. The forest outside of Mima's cave. The joys of education. Decades later, Mima has raised the now fully grown Siegfried in Hunding's former flat, turning it into a make-believe world with doll friends and children's toys. The noticeably aged but only seemingly frail educator has not yet given up his hope of freeing and rescuing the unforgotten kidnapped child from Rheingold. But how is he supposed to prevail over the child's adoptive father, Fafner? Siegfried's birthday is approaching, and Mima joyfully awaits his homecoming. But when the young hero finally arrives, he is heavily intoxicated, his mood worsening by the minute. His relationship with his foster father, poisoned by dependency issues, has long provided fuel for his ill temper. Even in culinary terms, Mima's genuinely loving efforts do not resonate with Siegfried. The evening caregiving ritual and Mima's evasive answers to Siegfried's pressing questions about his origins further strain the relationship. Pressured, Mima finally tells Siegfried about his mother, Sieglinde, but otherwise offers only fragmentary hints about his family. Angry and unsatisfied, Siegfried departs. After many years away, the wanderer, Wotan, is drawn back to the very personal ghosts of his past. The unannounced visitor forces Mima into conversation, keeping him against his will within his own four walls. A nostalgic round of questions turns into a cruel cross-examination about his own failure and neglect. Emotionally agitated, Wotan leaves a gift for Siegfried. Mima is anxious about the future and about Fafner. When Siegfried returns, he shows no interest in sexual enlightenment, which could teach him to fear, as the Welsungen gift garners all of his attention. What at first appears to be a simple crutch turns out to be a veritable weapon. Showing keen intellect, Siegfried unmasks the world constructed by Mima, destroys the false symbols of his supposed origins, and ecstatically frees himself from his false past. Act 2. Deep in the forest. Twilight of the patriarchs. In front of a burning fireplace, the aged Fafner lies on his deathbed as master of the house. He will not and cannot die. Always on watch by his side is Hagen, the nurturing son of theft, for whom he once slew his brother Fosselt. Alberich announces his presence. He has long been waiting for Fafner's death to bring Hagen back to his side. The man he once kidnapped does not seem to recognize him. Wotan also appears unexpectedly after years of separation. The conversation between the two brothers reveals the differences in their natures. While Wotan is ostensibly calm as he observes the events, Alberich still craves power. But for the time being, they are both the losers in the story. Fafner has no interest in understanding or change. A flustered Mima arrives with the hung-over Siegfried. Hastily abandoned by his foster father, Siegfried opens up to his surroundings and notices in Hagen's relationship with Fafner a deep resemblance to his own with Mima. With Waldvogel, a tormented caretaker, he soon explores personal boundaries after initial misunderstandings. Their togetherness does not go unobserved. Fafner rises from his bed. He does not survive the encounter with the blamelessly guilty Siegfried. Among idle observers, the old man dies all on his own. Moreover, Siegfried finds an ally in Hagen. Their subsequent murder of Mima seals their mutual detachment from the past, and Waldvogel shows them the way to new adventures. Act 3. Wilderness. Then later, the heights of a rocky peak. A new generation. Later, in the same, but now cold place, blinded, Erda wanders among the dead in the company of the rescued child from the events of Rheingold. Wotan feels compelled to share his sorrows with his former lover, but she has nothing more to say to him. Dismayed by the punishment of their common daughter Brünnhilde, she turns her back on him. Deeply disappointed, Wotan realizes that they will not meet each other again. Tired from their unsuccessful search, Siegfried and Hagen take a short rest. They meet the father figure of Wotan, and the discussion quickly spirals out of control. Defeated by Siegfried, Wotan acknowledges his inferiority and retreats forever. Brünnhilde, seemingly bereft of mortality, exits Valhalla. Her longtime confidant and devoted nurse Grane accompanies her on her regular walk outside. Fascinated by the sight of her, Siegfried disregards his newfound friend Hagen, who departs in bitter disappointment. In a state of utter vulnerability, Brünnhilde initially experiences her revelatory awakening at the hands of Siegfried, whom she seems to have expected as invasive. Cautiously, she must overcome her fears and build trust. But Siegfried, who is suddenly fearful, also sees his maternal image of woman permanently shattered. The encounter is made even more difficult by painful self-confrontation on both sides. But Brünnhilde realizes that, together with Siegfried, she can truly change the loathsome world that has so harshly punished her. Between longing for love and the urge to die, the militant duo celebrate a liberated future that is to be theirs alone.